My name is Josh, and I'd like to show you this amazing graphical tool called processing. I consider processing a mathematical way to make designs, images, or graphics through your computer. A more robust definition would be that processing is a graphical programming language. Statements are made line by line and can be looped or conditioned to create some amazing results. Now, I know that coding can sound intimidating, but I think the syntax for processing is uniquely simple. It has similar notations with JavaScript, if any of you are familiar. The current version of processing is Processing 3, which you can download at this website here. You can also find some amazing examples of people using processing and what it can do. After you download processing, you can open it up here after you extract it into a separate file. Let me show you an example that I've made. This is an example that I've made of pixels scattering across the screen using many different colors. I can dynamically add as many colors as I want to this. I just have to think of the hex number. This is an example of processing's particle simulations that someone else has made. I didn't make this, but it's pretty cool. Here's one where a bunch of circles rotate around your cursor and are drawn to it like a flock of birds. Some very cool stuff you can do with the animation tools here. Speaking of circles, let me show you how to draw one. When you first open processing, it'll show you a screen like this. This is a window for where we'll write our processing code. If you want to create a circle, just type in circle. Then, in parentheses, say where you want it to go. It's like an XY plane in math, so you type in the coordinates for X and Y. So I'll go with 0 for the origin to start with. It looks like it needs something still. It says here that the function circle expects parameters like float, float, float. That may not make much sense to you, but this is an error message saying what's wrong with our code, and it's really helpful to figure out how to fix what's going wrong. It's showing what a circle function should look like, with 3 floats inside the parentheses. A float is just a number, and we already have 2 of those right now in our circle. The last number says the diameter of the circle, or how big it's supposed to be. So I'm going to say 100. Make sure you separate your values with commas or the program won't know what number goes where. The error message says we're missing a semicolon. That's to end our command. Now if I click play, watch what happens. So the center of the circle is in the top left corner of the window, and this window is really tiny. I'll show you how to make it bigger and show us the full circle. We'll use the size command, which will say how tall and wide we want the canvas. Let's say we want to make a canvas the size of a square that's 400 pixels wide. We'll click play to run. So the shape of the canvas is better, but the circle is still only in the corner. I thought 0, 0 was at the center of the plane. Well, for processing, the point 0, 0 is actually in the top left, so the canvas goes from 0, 0, 400, 0, 0, 400, and 400, 400, at least for this canvas. It may take some getting used to, but it's nice to not deal with negative numbers for your canvas. To see the whole circle, let's change the point to 100, 100. Now we can see it. The circle is 100 pixels wide and its center is at 100, 100. That makes sense. That third value tells the diameter of the circle. If we wanted to change its size to fill up the corner, we could change the last value to 200. Now it touches the corners. I hope this explains the canvas in processing, and you now feel confident opening your own project. To save your project, go to File, Save, and name it whatever you'd like. To open it later, you could go to Open and find that file, but I like to open Recent. That will bring up a recently opened projects panel, so it's quicker to switch between projects. Now that's saved, you can quit processing and not worry about losing your data. That's all for this episode. Come back to see how to draw more shapes.